Okay, so I finally seen the movie, and I'm gonna keep this video. This is gonna be a spoiler-free review, and I gotta say, yeah, going right into this movie, you just know for a fact that this is definitely not like what we've seen before in other X-Men movies, given that it's rated R and the violence is gonna be it's gonna be more gruesome and more gut wrenching in a good way, and when you hear those F bombs drop, you know that you're in an R rated territory. Even though I know like the F word was uttered in other two X-Men movies, like in First Class and in Days of Future Past, like when Logan, when Wolverine says "Go fuck yourself" in First Class, and in Days of Future Past, young Xavier, throws his own words back into space, and so this isn't the first time those characters have said the F word, but just hearing them say that in this time, I mean, it's just like, man, it still is like, wow, this is an R-rated movie. Holy shit. and like I'll just say that the way Wolverine does his thing in this movie is nothing like you've seen him do in the other movies. I mean, like it really reminds you of how clean those other movies were. Like every time he would stab somebody and scratch, when he does his thing, like when he stabs somebody, like there's like no blood on his blades, on his claws. None at all in the other movies. Here, however, yeah, there is blood on those claws. Like, damn. Shows you a big difference. And also, I gotta say, I wouldn't call this a movie where it ignores the rest of them. Like, I'm not gonna say that, no, you don't have to watch the other movies before watching this one. Me, personally, I would suggest that you do. Like from X-Men, the first 3 movies, and the first 2 Wolverine movies, and First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, just so you can get some investment into this world, that it's based off of, you know what I mean? So you can have a strong attachment to the characters, like Logan and Xavier, because, I don't know, I mean, like, take those movies away and you just jump right to this one. It's not gonna leave an impact on you as it would if you've seen all those movies that come before this one. You know what I mean? And I gotta say that X-23, she is badass. I mean, she can just be sitting there and looking at you and not doing anything, and damn, that is enough to get you like make where you don't want to fuck with her. We're just like, okay, I come in peace. Don't hurt me. And I did do a little bit of research on X-23 before seeing this movie, and I wondered what would they stay true to and what they wouldn't, what would they change and whatever, because they change some things in these movies and then they keep others the same as they're as they were written in the comics. But and I gotta say that I wish this movie was more. I wish it had more answers to the questions that you are gonna have when you watch this movie. Like what happened to the mutants? I mean, like, were they extinct? What happened? What wiped them out? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. They have very vague answers to to that, and like what happened to the other mutants, what happened to the X-Men and all that, but I gotta say that this is probably, no, not probably, this is the best Wolverine movie of the 3. And the X-Men Origins is like a blah, and the Wolverine is redeemable. It redeemed, it's a redeemable Wolverine movie. And this, however, is a very solid Wolverine movie. And you know how the other movies, especially the first three X-Men movies, where it keeps the X-Men world grounded into reality? Well, this really heightens that, like where it really feels, this movie really makes you feel like you're more part of reality than you are of the X-Men universe. And I like how they do that, where it makes you feel like that these characters really do exist. And man, I gotta say, you won't need Kleenex with this movie. You're probably gonna need some, like 8 packs or maybe 24 packs of paper towel rolls and shit, like brawny paper towel. Like I'd say, bring all of that with you. I mean, you're gonna need it, especially if you watched all the movies and then you're already invested and you are attached to the story and the characters and etc. Then yeah, get yourself a 24 pack of those rolls. And but I can't think of what else to say without giving it away. Honestly, it is a very, very great movie. It's not only a great comic book movie, but it is also a great movie. I love when they do that with these superhero movies, like where it's not just a good movie, not just a good superhero movie, but it's also a good movie, like The Dark Knight, for instance. Even Batman Begins, that was like that too. And hell, the whole Dark Knight trilogy. And the X-Men movies, I can put that up there as well. I mean, like, the first 3 and Days of Future Past, and some other Marvel movies. And by the way, I will tell you this, that even though this is spoiler free, you do not have to stay through the credits. There are no end credit scenes, no mid credit scenes. I know we cannot trust anything Marvel when it comes to like the credits, not having scenes in the credits. But this, however, you don't have to sit through it. I mean, if you want to sit through the credits, go ahead, but don't expect to see any scenes or any hints or any of that. There's none of that happening. None of it. But I will say this though. There is humor in it, and it didn't feel forced, and the action is top notch, and the drama is also top notch, and everything worked. I mean, everything was well balanced as far as the humor and the drama and the action. It all, they stayed in their place. You know what I mean? And even though I did need to adjust to Xavier dropping like F-bombs when he did. But if you see where what they've like what these characters have gone through, you can understand. I mean, like, and also in reality, like where you see what these characters go through, you would think to yourself, like, any person in reality would feel the strong itch, would give in to that itch to drop F-bombs. I mean, there's no way of resisting that. I mean, like, you're gonna drop an F-bomb, like if you were in that same predicament. So that's what made it feel more real to me, like with it being rated R and the violence. Holy shit, the violence. It is just, yeah, it is extra frosty on the cake. It is extra butter on the popcorn. Oh man. And I'm gonna see this shit again. You can bet your ass I will. And I might do a spoiler review after I see it the second time, because to make that way I can have a more, I guess, a more depth like review when I have to go into spoilers. But yeah, this was fantastic. And when you do watch the movie, it's like having a goodbye or a farewell party for someone that you're close with. You have a party, you're celebrating, you're having a good time, you're laughing together and all that stuff, and just getting crazy and doing some active shit together. And then when it comes to the end, which is in Act 3, when it's time for the movie to end and it's time for you to say goodbye, like when you're about to say goodbye to your friend at the airport or whatever, that's how I feel with Wolverine and with this story, where I'm like, no, I don't want to let you go yet. No, goodbye. So yeah, this movie did fuck with my heartstrings. This movie gives zero fucks about your heartstrings. Just letting you know that right now, which is where it comes the 24 pack of paper towel rolls That's where they step in. And oh man, I just couldn't, like I nearly could not hold it together near the end of the movie. And it was, I can't think of what else to say. It was just great. It was just fantastic. And I mean, before I continue rambling on, I might as well give my rating for the movie, and it gets 4 solid chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 solid chair spins. And oh my gosh. But I have to say, with the villain, I mean, the way he made his introduction was pretty cool. But as the movie went on, when it went to the second act and the third act, I'm just like, I'm starting to not to really care about him so much. I mean, there were times where I didn't care for the villain that much, like for him as a character, and but it dwindles up and on. I mean, he didn't feel like a superior villain. Like, I wouldn't call him the best villain, like in this universe, but I guess he worked for the movie, and the whole road trip thing. I mean, that was done pretty well. I mean, like when the action happened, like it was great, and when it slowed down, it needed to. It didn't feel like I wasn't bored. I wasn't like, oh, what time is it? I didn't get heavy-eyed or anything. I was that invested into the story. And though this is not how I would have ended it, I would have had one more X-Men movie, like where they're all together united for one more movie, and then that'll be it. And then this could come in, and then this will be the final, Wolverine movie. And then that'll be it, because basically Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart are throwing in their towels, like as far as these characters go. So, not the sin-off of, it feels like a sin-off to the franchise pretty much, even though they'll probably make maybe at least one more X-Men movie with, with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. But, I think the more logical thing to do now is to reboot the whole thing. The whole thing. I know there's like, oh, but there's the other movies with James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender and Jennifer Lawrence and etc. But nope, let's put that to an end too. Let's reboot the whole thing. The whole thing. Because, at this point, they should leave Wolverine alone. They should not have any cameos. Don't throw him anywhere. They can mention him and stuff, or they can mention him or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the next thing you have to do is reboot the whole franchise, but give people time to really let people adjust to the fact that we're not going to see Hugh Jackman as that character again. Don't force a reboot down our throats like they've done with Spider-Man. Like with Andrew Garfield's The Amazing Spider-Man, where they sort of threw it at us. They forced it down our throats. I hope they don't do that. But still, this was a great movie. And I think if you enjoyed the X-Men movies, I think you will enjoy this too. There may be nitpicks you may have, but I think overall it's a very solid movie. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. And feel free to tell me which Wolverine movie was your favorite, or which X-Men movie was your favorite. And I may do a spoiler review on this movie like sometime this weekend, or maybe even I don't know. I mean, I just need to gather my thoughts. I need to put them all back in the pile here. And then I may do a spoiler review right after I establish that. So in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.